Students. So once again, I welcome you all to my English 2 class. Yesterday's class, you have watched the class video, and there we have started a new chapter. That is the first chapter, which is the owls in the family. Now, some who are asking that what are the chapters which are there in your pre-half-yearly portion. Let me tell you that soon your pre-half-yearly portion I will tell. But till that time, whatever chapters are being taught, you follow that. In the class video, you follow the chapters. You can know if you follow the class videos properly, you can know which other chapters will be there in your syllabus, in your pre-half yearly unit test. Okay, so the chapter which we have started, you have seen that it has been written by Ruskin Bond, and here the narrator is saying about two owlets and how these owls came to their family and became a very loving member of their family, or you can say become a very loving pet. Not means there were two owlets which became the loving pets of their family. Okay, now then we are going to continue from where we stopped. So we have completed all these up to here. Okay, now the narrator is saying the little owlet was quite happy under my bed. The following day, a second outlet was found almost the same place on the veranda. And only then did we realize that where the rainwater pipe emerged through the roof, there was a rough sort of nest. So, what is the meaning of this word emerged? Now, emerged here means, here you can see this word. So, emerged here means, where is the word? This one. Okay. So, this word here means where the pipe has come out of the, means suppose there is a roof and the pipe is going from the down, and when it will means there the entrance of the pipe, or you can say that the front part of the pipe, so where the water of the roof will enter and will come through the pipe and will go will come to the earth, or you can say will come to the drain. So there in the mouth of that pipe, in the roof, in the mouth of that pipe, there was a roof, and there was a rough sort of the nest of the owls. Okay, and from which the birds had fallen. From there the birds had fallen, and we took the second young owl to join the first. So now very first there was only one owlet, the newborn owl, and then another owl joined to it. So there were two owlets and fed them both. And the narrator's family and the narrator, they gave, a first one was given some meat and water, second one also was given some food. When I went to bed, they were on the ledge just inside the mosquito netting. Now here again another word is ledge. So whichever word I'm explaining here, whichever meaning I'm explaining here, you listen to it very carefully so that there will be no kind of that noise in your live class. Okay, ledge is what? If you see your window, you will find this kind of a place. Okay, so ledge is what? A narrow shelf that sticks from a vertical surface of a window. If suppose this is a window, and this one, no, the yellow arrow is there, this part we call a ledge. So suppose, and what the narrator is explaining here, suppose this is a window where the panes are of glass. Okay, now this glass window, you just imagine there is a netting here. Okay, there is a netting here, and the narrator is telling about that. So where the birds, where the outlets were here, and there was a netting, and on the other side of the netting there was their mother, that the mother owl was there. So now you can see the situation is that here in these lays or in this place there were the two outlets, the baby outlets were here, then in between here this in this place there was a mosquito netting or the netting was there, and on the other side of it there was their mother, the mother owl. Okay, then what happened, the mother owl was there. Okay, then and later in the night their mother found them there. Okay, so the mother found them there. From outside she crooned. Crooning means she made a humming sound, you can say she made a sound, and gargled. Gargle here means a means a sound which is made out of satisfaction. So here what kind of satisfaction that the mother owl was having. So now you understood crooning means making a sound of a humming sound, you can say, and gargle sound here means making a sound of satisfaction, making why he is satisfied or why he is happy now, because earlier he was very much anxious, he was very much worried, he was very much worried about whether his babies are still alive or not and where his babies are gone. So he was sorry, she was very much worried, she was very much worried, you can say, and she was very much kind of in a tensed mood. So now when she saw that her babies are there inside the house of the narrator, she was a bit relieved, so that is why she made such kind of sound. And then for a long time, and in the morning I found that she had left a mouse with its tail tucked through the mosquito net. Now as I have shown you the picture, so as I have shown you the picture, suppose this is a mosquito netting, and from the other side the mother left one mouse, and the mouse, its tail was inside the mosquito netting. That means through the mosquito netting its tail was coming towards the baby owlets. Okay, so its tail was coming towards the baby owlet. So the mother left a food. What is that food? The mouse. So the mother left a dead mouse to for her babies, so that the babies can eat it, because the mother thought that the babies may be hungry, because the mother thought that the babies, the newborn owlets, they may be hungry. So obviously the narrator is saying, obviously she didn't trust us to look after them. That means what? The mother must be thinking, the mother owl must be thinking that the narrator and his family is not taking good care of the owlets. They are not giving them any food or anything. That the mother was thinking. The mother owl was thinking that the newborn babies, they are still very hungry, because the narrator's family, maybe they have not fed them. The young birds grew well. 10 days later, after 10 days, at dawn, so dawn, you know that just before the morning, grandfather and I took them into the garden to release them. So grandfather and the narrator, they thought that the owlets are now a bit grown up. The owlets are quite grown up now. So whether means they should release them. They should go to the garden and they should leave them there, so that their mother will come and will take them back. I had placed one on a branch of a mango tree. Now the narrator kept one owlet on the mango tree, on the branch of a mango tree, and was stooping to pick up the others. What is the meaning of stooping here? Stooping means he was bending his body. That means when you pick up something from the floor, suppose something has fallen on the floor and you are picking up something, so that time you bend your body. So that is what has been meant by the word stooping. So the narrator stooped to pick up another owlet, the second one. So first one he has kept on the mango tree, the branch of the mango tree, and the second one he is trying to pick up. Okay, now what is happening? So when he went to pick it up, that time when I received quite a heavy blow. So he received what? A heavy blow he received. He received a heavy blow. That means somebody pushed him from the back. It seemed like as if somebody was pushing him from the back of his head. So he got the blow on his head. A second or two later, after a few seconds, the mother owl swooped down at grandfather. This is again another meaning that you should note down, you should remember. Swooped down. Swooped down here means when something means a bird, when it is coming in a very rapid speed. The bird is coming downward from the sky, the bird is coming downward in a rapid speed. The bird is coming downward in a rapid speed and we call it swooped down. When in a very rapidly it is coming to attack someone or very rapidly it is flying coming down. So it has been said here swooped down, okay, at grandfather. But he was agile enough. Agile here means he was quite able, or you can say he was quite capable of running away from that place, to duck out of its way. Duck out of its way means to get out of its way, to run away from that place, or to befool him, to befool that bird. Means the bird was coming in a very rapid speed to attack grandfather, but grandfather was quite able, he was quite strong, or you can say he was quite capable of running away from that place. So he ran away from that place to escape the bird, or to get respite of the bird. Now quickly I placed the second owl under the mango tree. Now very quickly I placed it because earlier I have got one blow from the mother owl. The mother owl was thinking maybe the narrator and his grandfather, they were causing some harm to the baby owlets. So that is why the mother owl is very angry and is wanting to attack them, is wanting to make them injured. Then from a safe distance we watch the mother fly down. Then from a safe distance where the mother owl can't attack us, so from there we saw that the mother was flying down and laid her young ones into the long grass at the edge of the garden. At the edge of the garden means at the other side of the garden, or towards that outskirt, that part of the garden. So we thought she would take her family away from the surrounding. We thought that the mother owl will take the babies from there, from our surrounding, and will go away to some rather strange household. Of our rather strange household. Now this is very important. Why the narrator is saying this is strange household? Because you can say that there were many other pets were there. So it's a kind of a strange household where the family members were, the four family members who were there in the narrator's family, were the narrator himself, the narrator's grandfather, his grandmother, and Aunt Mabel. So the narrator was living with his grandparents. His parents were somewhere else, so he was living with his grandparents. So that is why the narrator is telling that strange household means their household or their family is because there you can see the grandfather and grandmother both of are very much fond of the animals, and different kind of pets are there. So and there is a garden in front of their home. So all these things seemed very strange because there are some kind of strange pets, peculiar pets. I have already said the other day that which are the pets which were there in the narrator's family. There were the monkey, the hares, also you can say there was a python. So all these kind of peculiar pets were there. But the next morning, on coming out of my room, when I came out of my room, I found two young owls standing on the wall just outside the door. So they were standing just outside the door, or opposite to that door. There was one wall, and on that wall the two baby owls, or you can say the owlets, they were standing. I ran to tell grandfather when we came back. So I ran means the narrator went to tell his grandfather that the owlets, these young owlets, they have come back. And when we came back, we found the mother sitting on the bird bath. Now, bird bath is a place, or you can say is a basin kind of a thing, as you are having a basin in your at your home. So, kind of that kind of a thing which is kept in the garden or somewhere in the outside, so that the bird can the pets or whatever birds are there, those birds can go and get bathed. So, I'm showing you the picture of that. What is a bird bath? Okay. No, it's not coming. So will it come? Yes, yes, these kind of, okay, these or you can say these kind of places are there where the some water will be given, and then the birds will come and will get bathed there. Okay, so these kind of places are called bird bath. Okay, then so now I think these all these things are clear, which the underlying things are there. You watch the video properly before you attend the live classes, because all these meanings I'm explaining here, you watch the video very properly, very sincerely, very minutely, you observe all the things, then you ask. Okay, so then what happened? When we came back, we found the mother sitting on the bird bath. Okay, I have shown you what is a bird bath, and this is a bird bath you have seen. So here, like this is a place where the water is given, and then the birds will get bathed here. So this is a bird bath, and then 10 years away. Now this is very important, where the narrator earlier why these things are mentioned, and then the next sentence is very important here, very significant, you can say. I got the feeling that she was sorry for her behavior the previous day. Now why now how it wanted to show it, it greeted them with a soft hoo hoo. The other day it was much ferocious. So this is one sound made by the owls. So the other day it was very much ferocious, it was very much attacking, you can say. It tried to attack the narrator, it tried to attack the grandfather. So the next day again it came back, it felt in the inner core of its heart that however or in whichever way it behaved with the narrator and his grandfather, it was the wrong way, because they are the ones who took care of its babies, took care of the small owlets, and it should not misbehave with them. Okay, so it realized it, and that is why, and also it has seen the other day it had frightened them. They were much afraid and they went away from that place, so it had frightened them. That is why the the mother owl was sitting in a distant place. It was not going closer to them, it was sitting in a distant place. It was sitting in the bird bath, which was 10 yards away from the gate, you can say. So it was sitting in a distant place, it was making a hoo hoo sound just to greet them or just to welcome them, or somewhere just to convey the message, just to tell them that yesterday in however way I behaved with you, I'm sorry for that. Now now there is an unselfish mother for you. The narrator is saying unselfish here means who is not selfish. Yesterday the way she behaved was very much selfish way, or you can say yesterday the way she behaved was not a fair way, was not a very good way of behaving with someone who had taken care of your babies, who were helpless, who were helplessly fallen, and the narrator and his grandfather and their family, they took good care of it, they took good care of the owlets. Now the mother, in return, the mother didn't show, that time didn't show any sort of gratitude, rather it misbehaved with them. But now the mother owl, it has come back with a sense of gratitude and is welcoming the narrator and his grandfather with a hoo hoo sound, and is somewhere is sitting in a distant place, because it knows very well that today if I go closer to them, they will again get frightened and will get inside, will not take care of my babies. So now there is an unselfish mother for you, said grandfather. It's obvious she would like them to have a good home. Now the narrator's grandfather has realized what is the mindset or what is the thought process of the mother owl? What is the mindset of the mother owl now? Why, with which mindset it has come back here? It has come back with the mindset that the owlet should stay here in the narrator's family, because now it has come to know that the owlets will be safe. The owlet will be will be taken care of very nicely. They will be taken care of if they will stay in the narrator's family. And also there is another cause, that they are probably getting a bit too big for her to manage, and also the owlets are now grown up, quite grown up, so the mother owl will not be able to handle them, or will not be able to manage them, will not be able to take that much kind of a good care of them as the narrator and his family will take. So the two owlets became regular members of our household. So here you can see the two owlets became a regular member of our household. Okay, the two owlets became the two owlets. So the two owlets became regular members of our household, and strangely enough, were among the few pets that grandmother took a liking to. So this is again another the question will be there in your exercise. You will find a question. So here the expression has been used, strangely enough. Strange, as you know, which is not usual. Strange, not usual. So, what was the narrator trying to say here? What is the narrator trying to say here? The narrator is trying to say here that grandmother is a person. No, grandmother is a person who means always, who is not very much kind and loving to all the pets. So she is very much choosy in this case. In the matter of having the pets, the grandmother is very much choosy. Like when you go to a restaurant, you say that I like these kind of foods, I don't like these kind of foods. So you are very much choosy about your foods, no? The same way grandmother was also very much choosy about these kind of pets, which should stay there in their home, and which she will not want to stay in their home. So this was the owls were someone who were the owlets were someone who were a bit fortunate, because grandmother was liking them. So if you read some other stories like the grandfather and the python, so there you will find that grandmother is not liking when the grandfather is bringing the python from the market. Grandmother is sending him back that you go and return it to the seller, because I don't want that there should be a python in my house. So that is what I'm trying to say, that all the pets you will find in Ruskin Bond stories, almost all the pets are very much peculiar, but still grandmother will have a loving and caring attitude to some of them, and few of them will be deprived of that. Few of them she will not like. Okay, so were among the few pets that grandmother took a liking to. So they were fortunate enough. Though all the animals, all the pets are not loved by grandmother, she likes few and she doesn't like few. So, but the owlets were among those in the list of her liking. So the owls became so attached to grandmother that they begin to show affection towards anyone in a petticoat. So I said petticoat is a frock kind of, or you can say a gown kind of a dress, where which the women or the female members they will wear. So whenever somebody was dressed up like grandmother, somebody was dressed up in the manner of grandmother, so the birds or the owlets, they will think that as if it is grandmother herself, and they will have such kind of a reverence, or you can say such kind of obedience, such kind of affection towards that person. So may it be grandmother or may it be some other woman in the family, but whosoever will be wearing a petticoat, they will be very much respectful, they will be very much affectionate, they will be very much loving towards that person, including Aunt Mabel. Aunt Mabel is another character in the family. So Aunt Mabel is the narrator's aunt. Here you can see she is the aunt. who was terrified of them. She was frightened of them. She was not that much happy with them. So she was a bit terrified. She was a bit frightened with those animals, with those you can say with those birds, with those owlets. She would run shrieking from the room. That means terrifiedly, kind of a trembling, you can say. So that way, she would, in a very terrified manner, kind of trembling manner, she will run out of the room every time the birds would come to her. When the birds will come to her, that time she will be running away from that place, or you can say she will go away from the place, though the birds are not in an attacking mode. Rather, you can say the birds were in a very friendly manner. When the birds will come closer to her, she will go away from the place in a trembling manner or in a frightened manner. Okay, next. So we will complete this today, and the question answers we will do in our next class. In response, in response to grandmother's voice, in response to grandmother's voice, the owlets would make sound. The owlets would, in response to grandmother's voice, the owlets would make sound as gentle and as gentle and soothing as the purring of a cat. Purring of a cat means when the cat will make a sound with its leg or with its nail, you can say. So that kind of a sound was it's a very kind of a not that kind of an unpleasant sound. So the narrator is trying to say that the means those birds were so much loving, so much affectionate, or you can say so much so much kind of obedient to the grandmother, that whenever she will call them or whenever her voice will be heard, they will make very soothing and very pleasant sound. But when wild owls were around, but when they will see the wild owls, owls means the outside ones. It means wild owls here means the outside, the owls of the these are the two owlets which are there kept as the pets of the family. But when the outside owls, they will make some noise. Ours would disturb the night with terrible shrieks. Now they will be as if they are trembling. They are very much terrified. When the outside owls will make noise, our owlets. The narrator is trying to say ours here means it's a possessive pronoun. Okay, so ours would disturb the night with terrible shrieks. So they will be as if they are very much afraid. They will make the whole house. They will make everyone mad by creating such kind of a noise. Their nightly occupation was catching beetles. Their nightly occupations means at night they used to catch the beetles. Beetles, as you know, kind of you can say kind of an insect or kind of a worm. You can say it's in Bengali, which is called that. What is it called? Gubre poka kind of. So and would disturb the night with terrible shrieks. So as I have already discussed this one and this one, the nightly occupation, that means at night what work it used to do. Occupation here means the work of that a person usually does. So the nightly occupation here means at night what would they do? They would catch the beetles. Beetles means that kind of an insect, and with which the kitchen quarters were infested. The kitchen quarters were infested here means full of. Okay, the kitchen quarters were full of these beetles. The beetles were so much plenty in number in the kitchen at that time, with their sharp eyes and powerful beaks. So they had sharp eyes and powerful beaks. So the narrator is also giving the description of the owls. So with their sharp eyes and powerful beaks, they had sharp eyes and they had powerful beaks. Beaks, I have said, what is beak? The front part of its, the front parts of its mouth, you can say, the strong that portion with which they will catch the prey, with which they will catch that whatever insects are there. So they were excellent pest destroyer. So pesticide, this word you are very much acquainted with. So pest means here those insects which will like cockroaches and all these things, they are called, they are classified as pest. So they were the pest destroyers. That means whenever they will see any kind of pest, any kind of insect, so they will go and they will very first they will catch them and will eat them up. The owls loved to sit and splash in shallow dishes. Okay, let us stop here today. The next day we will complete these other two chapters also, and the question answers also we will complete, because it should be one 30 minutes class only. So one thing you remember, I will give you one question only in your worksheet part. So in that question you answer. As I have already said, if you are not able to answer or so if you are not able to submit it online, you write down in your copy giving the date and the name of the chapter. You can write down in your English 2 copy, so you maintain the copy in a very neat and clean way. Okay, so that's all for today. Have a very nice day.